you're going to judge such as I. Right?
And that every tongue should confess that Yahweh Shai Mashiach is
I just have to crank up this thing in sign language.
Of to the glory of Yahweh.
Nah, man. Like usually if it's poor sound, it's like it's a wind thing, right? And you like the sound of you going in and out. But it's straight up just saying no sound. Hey, I see a brother just logged on, man. We doing a quality check. Okay, come. Hey, call halal like how about some outside? Hey, man, Satan tripping, man. You want to crank up this? You want to do Shemai?
Yeah, get calm, bro.
All right, Shemai, Yashallah, Yahweh, Lahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad, Shemai, Yashallah, Yahweh, Lahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad, Shemai, Yashallah, Yahweh, Lahayanawa, Yahweh, Achad. All right, Shalom, Akyam.
Shalom.
Hey, we would like to start off by giving our honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash.
I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of great millstone who are well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. All right, so we good, right? You know, we got that sound in there? Yeah, cut. Yeah, call alarm like how about on side. And that was the third time.
That's spirit.
Yeah, it's the spirit, man, you know. But hey, anyway, look, through the spirit and power, how about on side? And the spirit had us going into the subject of discipline takes power from Eve. All right? And you're gonna and the key word is power. And God have power, man. All right, the water. All right, God's have power, man. So just like in the time of Egypt, where the Most High went to really destroy the gods of Egypt, all right, those plagues were mocking those gods. Now the Most High is destroying the gods of Egypt. Now He's attacking the power that these false idols have, which are manifesting in people. All right.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am Yahweh. And
when it comes to Eve, you have to understand, Eve is under the vibration of the Queen of Heaven. All right, she's under the vibration of the so-called God Diva. All right, she has the energy and the pull of something called the succubus. All right, and the way you know it's a succubus, because a succubus leaves you drained. All right, that's why you get around certain women and your spirit will be drained. All right, or you'll leave you financially drained.
Yeah.
But they're here to take.
Yeah, they eat your energy.
They eat your energy, man. And it's like, for lack of better words, it's like it's insidious in the sense that what you learn with a succubus is that you're driven with your lust, but the more you pursue it, the more it takes from you. You know? The more you pursue it, the more it takes from you, man. Yeah, but you get your scripture, brother.
And then when you stop chasing that succubus, that's when you realize it's a demon.
It's a demon, man. You know, because you want. BB King said, you know, the thrill is gone. The thrill is gone. But he went on to say, I'm no more under your spell. Yeah, I'm like, damn. He said that. He's like, I'm no more under your fucking spell. You know what, brother? I'm gonna move this camera down just a little bit.
Yeah, Jake.
Yeah. Just lions all on the block, man.
Yeah, we don't got no inside voice.
Yeah, nah, we don't, man. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I got a precept as well.
That's right. We got it.
Okay. The book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 1. The burden of Egypt.
Okay, come.
The burden of Egypt. You're talking about America right here, though. All right? Modern day Egypt. Behold, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence.
Yep, the idols of Egypt. And one of those idols of Egypt is the women, mainly the Israelite woman, all right, Eve as we call her, all right? She's under the vibration of the Queen of Heaven. She has the energy of the Queen of Heaven.
Yeah, they've been deified.
All right, to the point where how she look at when she puts on her idol attire, all right, how she looks is esteemed as who she is. So one part of that enchantment of Babylon is that how Eve looks is equated to who she is.
That's heavy witchcraft, bro.
That's heavy mother freaking witchcraft, man. There's heavy mother freaking witchcraft, man. It's an enchantment. Like those loud flamboyant colors, all right? You get in the clothes that accentuate her curves, that's an enchantment. You're literally enchanted.
It's a poisonous snake.
It's a poisonous snake. And most poisonous animals in the wild have flamboyant colors. All right? But if something had value, you don't entice somebody to pursue it. You actually protect them from it. You hide it. So in our culture, where our women were culturally virgins, you actually hid them. All right? But you had the women's sexual liberation. And after the women's sexual liberation, it liberated women to be whores and to live like whores. So they actually extracted certain traits of prostitutes and still had the title as women. And one of the traits of the prostitutes that they used was what? To be sexually provocative.
Yeah, and that's why traditional marriage doesn't work with the modern woman.
Nope. No, because you arguing with her about her keeping clothes on. You arguing with her about what? Male validation. Like, why you chasing male validation, man? All right, because they still want to be whores. All right?
Yeah. Oh, you made a heavy point too, Saquon, mentioning how if something has value in the ancient world, people would protect that. Like, dealing with the father and his virgin daughter. Well, in the spirit, the Israelite men of the hopeful elect, we're the Lord's woman. And the Lord protects us, you know. I mean, brother saw a meme a while back. Basically, I forget exactly how it was worded, but it was something along the lines of protect me from what I want.
Yeah.
And that's what the Lord does, you know. The Lord knows brothers want these women, but the majority of these women ain't no good for us, man.
Nope.
You know.
That's right.
They're succubus demon.
The succubus demon. It's enchanting, man. They even had a movie. It might have been called Succubus. It might have been called something else. But the movie was about the actual succubus. Yep. How a woman would like entice a guy at a bar, and she'll lead him on to the house. All right, but at the house, like a demon that actually manifests itself and kill him. You know, I'm gonna move to the side. It's a little bit.
Yeah, come.
It's a lot, bro.
No, it's all good.
You know, but the demon actually lure him in. You gotta. The key point is like lure. Why are they alluring you? That's how you know that it's a predator.
Oh, the show, American Gods.
Yeah, come.
Well, they had the one because. They show all the different deities that were worshipped here in America, and also in the ancient world. But they showed this particular deity or demon, really, Belarus, or something like that. But basically, like it was a different name for the Queen of Heaven. You know, Ishtar. You know, you got Ishtar, Ashtaroth. Yeah. It's basically the same name. You know, Semiramis or Isis. It's all the same energy. It's the same entity. Basically. They showed you and that show American Gods. Well, and they had that demon depicted as a so-called black woman too. Basically, she represented she's not an Israelite, but she represented a Hamite. Cause that's really what that shit go back to. Worship of the Queen of Heaven. They go back to Babylon and Egypt.
That's motherfucking right.
But they showed that in the show. Basically, exactly what you said. I know they like say they show in the movie, but they showed in that show that this Hamitic woman. You know, will pretty much go to the club. She'll be at a bar and she'll be talking to different guys. But I think the first time they show her anyway in the series, basically she lured an Edomite to her house, an older Edomite, you know, probably like late 40s, early 50s, and pretty much, you know, she was tickling his fancy. You know, she brought the dude home and she had sex with the dude, but basically, you know, she had got on top of him. She was riding him, and she started draining him. And what happened is he began to physically shrink. You know, like while she riding him, he began to physically shrink until he became a baby. Yeah. And basically, she sucked him up in her, you know, in her vagina. Basically, she devoured his soul. Yeah. And she did that pretty much all throughout the whole show. She'll take different men, bring them home, and do that. But it happens in the spirit now.
Yeah, it happens in the spirit, man. And it's all rooted in one thing: lust. And Babakashak, you get that? You hold another scripture?
Now, that's it.
Can you get Ecclesiastes 7:26? All right, because it's all rooted in lust. See, Babylon, hey, it has a heavy sexual enchantment. All right, but as it says in the scriptures, there of no temptation take you, but such as is coming to man. Yahweh is faithful that He will not suffer you to be tempted with temptation. well, with the temptation, create a way to escape. With the temptation, create a way to escape, and that way to escape, well, we're gonna build up to it. All right, but I just go out and say it like it's discipline. All right, because the wicked woman, her nature is enchant. That's how you know a woman is wicked. She's enchanting you. She's luring you in.
She doesn't want you to have self-control.
She doesn't want you to have self-control. All right.
All right, this is Ecclesiastes. All right, Old Testament, Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets.
Her heart is her mind. All right, and a snare and a net, that's hunting equipment.
Yeah.
But because that's where you get the word like to ensnare something. All right, so her heart is snares and nets. But how does she ensnare you? Through her body.
Yep. Manipulation.
Manipulation. All right, and then manipulate, because one of those words when it goes to manipulation, it goes into like her feminine
Feminine wiles.
yeah, her feminine wiles,
Her traps.
her traps. Also when like that pillow talking, because a man is at his weakest when he pillow talks. And also was like when a woman just like she basically she does everything right and she gets you vulnerable to you, just open up to her. Like that's when she makes her move, man.
Yeah, because, you know, with the Lord showing us it, in this truth, while, you know, operating in this truth in the world, ain't nothing free, man.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's something too good to be true, more than likely it is what it is. You know, you don't want to accept it at the moment. That's why, like the elders getting into, we gotta pray for discipline, because the majority of these women that are out here that you got access to in Babylon, if they want to get with you, they want something from you.
Yes.
You know.
Yep. And pray for discipline, man. Pray for motherfucking discipline, man. All right, we all have to pray, and it's like my language, but we all have to pray, and it's important. All right, because discipline is the way to escape from the enchantments of Eve. All right.
And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands.
Yeah. What do you do with a band? You tie somebody up. Like you got money. You might have a little stability. And a woman has your baby. Now you tied up. Now she has leveraged herself. All right. Or what's another one, man? All right. Just basically being pussy whipped. I mean, we all been there. Basically, like Cardi B, she'll get a man, go home with her, they have sex, and he'll wake up with his wallet missing. All right. And he got caught up in it, man. All right. But that's a hunter, right? Now, if you have a hunter who hunts deer,
Yeah.
what happens? He has all his trophies on the wall, all those deer heads that he conquered basically on the wall. Now you got women like, I think her name is Kareen Stephens. She wrote a book basically about all the men that she entrapped. You know, Superhead, like she mentioned all her conquests. All right,
Basically, different men she conquered.
different men she conquered, man. All right, then you had her little what do you call it? Her understudy. What's that chick? She came to Jackson State. The basketball player got her pregnant.
I know somebody.
But she studied Kareen Stephens. But that was her little prize trophy. I snared that nigga. You know, I got his baby. I got money. Like she conquered you, man.
And that's some real low life shit. That show you how low the majority of these women are. Like you purposely will get with a man that has something going for himself. You know, he has, you know, X amount of money. He has a decent career going. You know, as good as he gonna get in Babylon. But pretty much you just want to get with that man just to have his baby. You know, and pretty much take what he got. Like that's you a low creature.
You evil.
You know?
You worse than a man. The narrative in Babylon is men are dogs. No, you a dog. You a snake. All right, you a snake, man. But that's just her nature. We got a part part of Babylon. I mean, I'm sorry, part of coming back to the knowledge of our forefathers and coming and bridging back to our way is understanding the nature of things. Yeah, so and we gotta understand that the nature of females, man. And a female in her natural state is not cultured, all right, by her family, her dad. All right, it's an ensnarer. It's an ensnarer, man. As a matter of fact, I looked up the word Rebecca. I forgot how to say it in the Hebrew, but her name's meaning ensnarer, really in righteousness because of her beauty. Her beauty ensnared men. But the point is, the nature of a woman is to conquer and keep moving. You know? All right.
Savage.
She a savage. Shout out Rihanna. You You know?
And then they gonna say you want a bad girl like Riri. No, the hell you don't.
Nope.
Shit.
Whatever happened to a good woman? You know?
Recently, Jake was talking about it at work. Is Eve down here? She had hit a Jake with a car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they together, whatever. He lived, but you know, it's like damn. But it's like countless stories about different things, whether you know, it's domestic, you know, disputes, or whatever the case may be, man. But a lot of time, the woman be at fault, bro. You know. But you want me to read the rest of it?
If you want to, Babakasha.
But yeah, okay. All right. Ecclesiastes 7 and the rest of 26. Whoso pleased of the heavenly Father shall escape from her.
Hey, you know what? There's a big movement that's going on the internet called NoFap, and it's basically a movement encouraging men to stop watching. I don't even know if I can say the word filth on the internet. Stop stroking off to filth on the internet. And somebody might think like, why don't they have a movement like that? Because that's the beginning of it.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of you like you're training yourself to be defeated by the woman's body. All right, and what happens is you killing you. It's like a succubus in itself. Now, hey, look, we all men, all right, and things happen, but those type of things attack your spirituality.
Yeah, and you made a good previous point. The woman is not her body.
Yep.
Her body isn't her. The body just a shell.
Yep.
You know.
Because it's not until you unplug from certain things that you realize you was under an enchantment.
Yep.
And one of the things that you realize when you spiritually sober up is what you just said. A woman is what you're taught in Babylon is how she looks is who she is. Mm-hmm. That's what you get the concept of a bad female. Oh, she bad, but you don't know her. You don't know who she is. Like that woman that was talking on that podcast on YouTube. I forget her name, but she was like, some scary shit is happening. Men are starting to become disciplined, and the one thing a lot of women fear is that you all say you want a man that wants more than sex. Well, now you're starting to get there.
Yep.
And now that's scary as hell for a female, because when he goes past sex, he's gonna realize it ain't nothing there.
Yeah, you realize she got nothing to offer.
She ain't got nothing to offer. They're like, right, you're trash. So, these men that's being untangled from the snares of lust, they're seeing, okay, let me. I'm not driven by lust. Now, what do you have to offer? And for the most case, the answer is nothing. And that's scary for a lot of you women.
Yeah.
And then when you have that mindset, you understand that loud, tight shit, it's like a deflection, and it's a cover up from the fact that she has nothing else. All right.
Whoso pleased of the heavenly Father shall escape from her.
And part of that escape, and I'm gonna link it up with this scripture, Ecclesiastes 25 and 21.
Yeah, I got you.
It's a way to escape. It's a way to escape. Now, this is not saying we walking around being monks or being stoics, but we have to. A part of being regal is we have to maintain our fucking dignity. We got to maintain our dignity. And you maintain your dignity by keeping your standard, man. Developing a standard and keeping it. And then you gotta, because you gotta ask yourself. You see a woman that's very, like Eve, she knows how to get attention, right? But you can ask yourself, can you see her having your children? And if she had your daughter, can your daughter become that woman in her behavior? And if the answer is no, then you already know that she's a liability.
Yeah, a lot of times, like you'll see these pretty single women. You got to ask yourself, like, why is she single? Like, why ain't nobody like getting work? That bitch crazy as hell, man.
Especially if they're around 30. Like if they're around 30 and they single, it's like, whoa.
Yeah,
because even
probably had no kids. And
shit. Even if they don't have kids, they get on that birth control, but they got so many body counts, they had so many entanglements, they spirit all fucked up. It's like a haunted, empty house, man. All right.
Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha, chapter 25, verse 21. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman.
Hey, going back to Ecclesiastes 7, he that feareth the Most High shall escape from her. You escape from her through self-control. That's the point that we push. You escape from her through self-control, because you have to understand. Hey, it says that basically they that are of your house shall have a new creature. All right, so the new creature has a Jerusalem mindset, a Eastern mindset. Yeah. In the East, you ain't chasing nothing. You ain't following her on the ground. In the East, you saying how much? You just compartmentalize her as an escort. And if she's if the only common if the common denominator is flesh and a desire for sex, then what do you do with that as an Easter man? You ask her how many shekels does she desire? All right. Now, because if you don't pay the shekels, she being a harlot, she's gonna require something. All women require something. Even a good woman, a decent woman, she's still gonna require time. So what? All women have a price. So if a woman is physically attractive, they actually have platforms where you can entertain yourself for a few shekels, man. All right? You know? Hey, I'm a one said when I see women with their red hair, I say in the spirit, that's a warning sign of danger. Proceed with caution. Hey, red.
Yeah.
Hey, in the wild, that red is danger, right? Even in this side, like a lot of red signs.
Stop.
Stop. Hey, brother, red, purple, the silver hair, the green hair. Hey, one the women that's the most in it. Have y'all seen that video that the elder brother Manata Zakba did? That woman did a video. It's called "I'm Baby Daddy Free."
Yeah, that's
Cause you had that little Memphis chick. She was like, "I'm F nigga free," and she did this little other chick. She did her rendition, "I'm Baby Daddy Free," and then in front of the Planned Parenthood abortion clinic, talking about how they gonna abort their babies because they're trying to have kids, man.
Yeah.
You know, hey, one thing you learn, bro, brothers in this truth, hey, them liberals, because most Eve nigga women, they're far left liberals, man. That's the biggest fucking enemy, man.
Yeah, and you see why years ago, the apostles, beginning with Elder Apostle Hart, said what he said about women. How 99% of them gonna die.
Yep.
You know, as far as the Israelite women, because look at them.
Yep. Hey, but Salak for rent, hey, but it's in the spirit, man. You know?
I got something for you.
Like a shot.
And I'll go back to this.
Yep.
All right. The book of Galatians, chapter 5, verse 24. And they that are Yahushai's have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts.
Hey, because I'm telling you, see, it's more than just put on a garment and saying, F the so-called white man, but then on Tuesday, Sunday through Friday, you making crappy decisions. You know, you put on a garment and yeah, Esau and death to America, but from Sunday to Friday, you just making horrible decisions with your lower parts, man. And but we all been simple, man. I done been simple, man. All right, but you can't make simple being your fucking pattern. A man learns from his mistakes, and that's how you fucking evolve. Also, a man takes heed from counsel from other men, so you don't have to make those mistakes.
Yeah, take heed to the warnings, man.
Because after a while, it's no longer Eve's fault. The information is already out on Eve, outside of what we saying. Through the spirit, we started with Elder Apostle Hart, High Priest Ariah. They been getting on Eve before we was born. So that information has already been out. But when somebody tells you the nature of a tiger, and somebody tells you the nature of a scorpion, the nature of a serpent, and you still get bit, nigga, that's your fault after a while.
Yep. Stay out the jungle.
Stay out the jungle. Yeah. Who will pity a German that is bit by a serpent? Really, when you get into the scriptures, we ain't really get on Eve like that. We get on you. Because we already know who Eve is. We already know the nature. But you still driven by your lust. You still enticed. 1/3, we not driven by that. We it arouses us like, damn, she thick. But we already know, you should have a spiritual filter, like in your spirit, you know that ain't for you, man.
Hey, what your boy, what you in the spirit world now? The danger zone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Kevin Samuel. Yeah, but hey, look, man, we ain't really get on Eve like that. We ain't mad at Eve. After a while, you can't be mad at Eve because we gonna be mad at a serpent for being a serpent.
That's their job.
We mad at brothers. And it's really through the spirit. We just constantly repeating the brothers or inculcating the mindset. Don't be driven by lust, because that's the key to destruction. And the scriptures also says the spirit against the flesh and the flesh against the spirit, because you was in Galatians anyway. But I mean, it's
you want to get that?
If you know,
I'm pretty much there.
Okay, come on.
Galatians chapter 5. All right, and starting in verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
Yeah, a walk in Yahweh Bashma Shai, and we're occupied in the meditation thereof. And it's not that it's a sin to watch filth on the internet, but that basically that conditions you to be driven by that in real life. And what I've noticed that does, it chokes out your spirit to where your spiritual antennas are low when you get into the real world. Yeah. Like sometimes when you're in the world, right, you can pick up on people's spirit. You can pick up on Eve's spirit. But if you just your spirit choked out, it's like your spiritual acumen is low.
Yeah, and that internet is a gateway.
Yeah.
You know, like we pretty much walking a thin line with the internet because you got access to everything, you know?
Yeah, con. So you gotta strengthen your spirit so you can make decisions off your spirit. You still gonna get aroused in the flesh,
Right.
but that final decision has to be a decision to come from the spirit. All right, you got it, brother.
Galatians 5:16, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
Come on now.
For the flesh lusteth against the spirit.
The flesh warreth against the spirit, man. So it's easy to be aroused by Eve. It's easy to be enticed, all right, because that's the nature of the flesh. But what's the brand of the 1/3 that separates us from 2/3? Our decision making is of the spirit. 2/3 decision making is of the flesh.
Yep, that's the separation.
That's a separation.
Yeah, and you know, you just ask yourself, do you really want a woman that has so many men? Like, you know, this woman has been out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, like they would have said, you know, we human too. You know, we now made different mistakes, you know, crazy, you know, decisions. But
We
you
all
know,
have.
but we learn from it though.
Learn from it.
You know what I'm saying? Like a woman that all men have, like you really want this bitch, man.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the average Eve. You know,
And that's not a ruling class mentality.
yeah, you ain't gonna settle for. You know.
That's not a royal.
Oh, and then you gotta be faithful to it.
You gotta be faithful to use pussy. Now the scripture says in Amos 7:17, your wife should be a harlot in the city. All right. Now, technically all our women are whores because they're not virgins, but you don't want them them high mileage.
Yeah.
Now she looking for a beta male or somebody's gonna fall for the sob story.
Yeah.
We've all been there. And look, and even sisters, we love the sisters, man. And you got pulled from the bullshit. You're a new creature. But the main thing is you're not presently doing that, man.
Yeah, that's the point.
You're not presently doing that.
Yeah.
But we pushing brothers not to be driven, because you know what? The demon is most powerful in a woman. The spiritual demon say he's the most potent in that Evite vessel.
Yeah, damn weaker vessel.
He's the most potent, man. All right, but you got it, brother.
Shit.
Come on, man.
Yep. All right, and it says.
I'm sorry, brother. Let the scripture speak.
You
Right.
want me?
No. In school, we were never taught the virtue of discipline. They taught us all that BS in 12 years, but we were never taught as young, even in church, really, we were never taught as men the importance of being disciplined.
And that's why we got to get the fuck up out of here, because now, like what they teaching, you know, the brothers, you know, hey, we pray for your seeds, man. Now they like you got child sex ed for like kindergartners and shit. Like, man, what the fuck? This place got to burn, bro.
Yep.
It got to fucking burn, man. You know, the trannies all in the. It's too perverse, man.
Hey, man. Hey, look, man. Hey, I can't. I don't have anything else to say after that. You know.
Galatians 5 and 17. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would.
Hey, because a brother asked Elder Pascabar about a particular thing, and Elder Pascabar response to him based on what that brother said, he said was that, you know, certain things is not a sin to do, but once you come into this truth, you after the new creature. So you can't do things the old man did. And the old man was always about feeding that flesh.
And the flesh never satisfied.
The flesh is never, and that's how you know it's of the flesh, and ultimately it's a demon. The nature of a demon is that it's an empty stomach. No matter what the appetite is, no matter what the vice is, it never stops.
Yep.
You know? So, hey, because even when it comes to like the casual dating thing and stuff, you never fucking satisfied, man. You know, because it's like an extension of PORN, man. Because when you watching PORN, you never satisfied.
Got something for you?
All right, you got it, brother.
All right, this is Proverbs chapter 30, verse 15. The horse leech have two daughters crying, give, give.
And that's the horse leech is your damn flesh, and it's never satisfied, man. That's why Jake never stopped looking at women on Facebook. They never stopped pursuing women on Facebook, Instagram. They never stopped watching those twerk videos. They never stopped watching filth on the internet. But what that's doing, all you're doing is feeding your flesh. Y'all familiar with the analogy of the good wolf and the bad wolf? All right, so there was a war, there was a fight between the good wolf and the bad wolf. The good wolf is your spirit, the bad wolf is your flesh. And the way you determine which one is gonna win is based on what? Which one you feed the most. So if you feed your flesh the most, based off the things we just said, guess what? It's gonna conquer that spirit. There's a type of woman that the fleshly man likes, and there's a type of woman that spiritual man likes, man. And that spiritual man, he likes that femininity, man. He likes that kind, submissive, caring, considerate, cool. Now on this side of y'all got demons, but you want the best of the worst, just like food. You know? Like just like everything else. All right? All right, you know if you had anything, you know? Because look, I was gonna make a point. Because you know brothers are high caliber when it comes to how they carry themselves, how you carry yourself with like the food and you know we Israelites and this, that, and the third. But when it comes to Eve, you still on Keisha level. Like you still pursuing the Keisha level females, man. Hey, it's all about leveling up, man. All right, I'm gonna see if I can find this scripture too, because they accredited Benjamin Franklin with coming up with the 4 virtues. Because if you Google 4 virtues, it accredits Benjamin Franklin. Really comes from King Solomon. All right, and I'm finna get there right quick. It's Wisdom of Solomon 8:1. It says, "Wisdom reaching from one end to another mightily, and sweetly does she order all things." And I'm going to skip to the point. It says, "And if a man love righteousness," this is verse 7. "And if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues." And this is going to the 4 virtues. "For she teaches temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude." Now, what's that temperance? It's discipline. Another word for temperance is balance, moderation. But that you have to have discipline and have balance.
Yeah.
So, but one of the 4 branches of wisdom is discipline.
Can I say something?
Yep.
And you know, because the elder made a point. The Lord is pretty much making us elite, and elite men are not driven by their senses, man.
Yeah.
You know, and another point too, because we Jake, we know. You know what I'm saying? Like we know, we understand.
Yeah, hey, look, man. I don't be looking straight when I see a thick woman, man, or I don't see her.
Yeah.
No, we men.
It's a common Israelite plight.
Yeah.
But let's say if the Lord got it to where because you know you got a certain thing about you that Eve is driven to. Let's say if you can rack them up, you get X amount of women, you'll never be satisfied, bro.
Yep.
Right? It does, because you may have the access and you think like you can quench that thirst, so to speak, if you just get more women. The key really is discipline, man.
Hey,
you know?
Because look, we can't say we elite without having the key of discipline, man. That's what really make you elite.
That's what make you elite.
And when you look up the word first fruit, it said they that are of a superior class to that of their own kind, roughly paraphrasing. What's one of the traits that make, in real time, not just in theory, what's one of the attributes that make to separate the elect from a nigga? It's that discipline, man. And that's royal. That's noble. And then you have to be honest with yourself. You have to know what type of man you are. You know, if you lay down with a woman, you're going to develop some type of attachment, then you should know better than not to even bite the apple, whether she likes you or not. All right? And it's funny because when you pay money, you don't get attached.
And you not want to have an attachment with a demon.
Yeah.
They had a movie. It was called It Follows. It was a decent movie, you know, horror movie. It was decent, but they showed you, well, in the beginning, pretty much, this woman had sex with this particular man, and he pretty much passed off a demon to her. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much like the only way to get rid of that demon, you gotta have sex with somebody else and pass it off to them. But they show you Esau, no, too, because people carry spirits, man. You know, basically, you know, when someone would have sex with that person that's pretty much they got that energy hovering over them, because they want to get rid of that demon. When they pass that thing off to you, it's literally gonna follow your ass all around. You know, like bad shit start happening. But then they showed you like people, they was opened up. They saw the thing that was following them.
Hey, they had this movie called with Chris Rock, I Think I Love My Wife. And did you see that? It was basically you know, he was a Jake, and he was basically happily married or kind of bored married.
Yeah.
But a little old friend came by, a little foxy chick by the name, the actress that played her, Kerry Washington. And long story short, she was like the fun girl. Well, long story short, when he started going out with her, crazy shit started happening. Then he ran into like her ex beat his ass, and he just kept getting to like unfortunate situations. But he was like, man, It fucked his life up. It's a where like it was throwing him off balance at work, you know. And then his coworker said one of the most powerful things I've heard in a movie concerning women. He was like, "Look, man." He was like, "You will always get women chasing money, but you will never get money chasing women." And like in his spirit, but the money really on the right hand side is really this word, man.
Yeah.
You know, because you will always get women chase once you in the kingdom, but you will never get the kingdom chasing women, man.
You leaving the kingdom to get the
Yeah,
woman.
you leaving the kingdom, man.
You gotta hop off your throne.
Yeah, you gotta hop up your throne and break down. Hey, and that's one of the biggest mistakes that you can make as a 1/3 is to like the head is mindset. I know she Keisha, I know she ratchet, but I just want the pussy. That's one of the most dangerous mistakes you can make as a young man.
Very dangerous, man.
Because the nature of a succubus is to lead you on through your thirst. That's the nature of a succubus. So you telling yourself, nah, I just want to do this one thing. But the nature of a succubus is to constantly take from you while you being ensnared by her, man. The most powerful thing you can do is turn down things for your standards, man.
Your standards gonna save you, man.
Hey, like you said, it's another lesson. Your standards is gonna. That's what makes you a king. We be saying we a king in theory, but really that's what makes you a king is that you don't settle.
Yep. And that's why I say it's put on as the elect of the Most High. We gotta act like, you know.
You gotta act like it, man. We don't do that mediocrity over here, man. It is not about having, well, I'm only getting bad females. No, it's about quality. More quality than, and don't go for that, better y'all hoes, bro. No, there's always a better version of something.
Jake say that too.
Jake gonna do whatever he can to wet his willy, man, to get, because that pink thing's showing. And y'all hoes, bro. They all the same, bro. But this particular chick got you fucking going crazy.
Yeah.
This particular chick throwing shit out your house. This particular chick got your, you know what I mean, child, whatever it may be, man.
She's really for a wicked man.
Yeah.
Like that's who they're for, man. Like, man, fuck that, you know?
And you know what else I realized too? And I speak as a man, the wicked man is really for her. They compliment.
They compliment
because, like, you'll get with a woman, right? And if you're a good man, you naturally gonna care about her. You might make sure she's straight. But a wicked man is like, bro, I just want her money, bro. Like, this how she's scheming, how she can take something from Jake. It's a nigga out there somewhere. He's scheming. How can I get this bitch money?
Yeah.
How can I make this bitch work for me? Like, how can I make her? You know, you might not think like that as a man. That's a street nigga somewhere. That's like, I just want that bitch money.
Yep.
You know, that's who she's for.
Yeah, and we the quote unquote good guys.
Yeah.
But women don't want the good guy.
Yeah, but
you know
guess what now? We don't want your ass now.
That's right.
We don't want your motherfucking ass now. Because you know what we done? Through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shema Shai, he gave us the spirit of discipline to understand, oh, that's just a harlot. Oh, the ways about, we don't chase harlots. We just, if the needs come, we just pay a few shekels to take care of that. We don't risk everything we got for to please our Willie. No, that's just a harlot. But what a good women at.
Yep.
Or what a better version of the women at.
And you shouldn't feel like I'm gonna say like we shouldn't feel like how you know the woman ain't for you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't feel like it gotta come to the point where you gotta physically put your hands on her, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if it comes to that point, like if it comes to that point, she definitely not. Yeah, it's time to leave. She's not for you. Like you say, they like agents of chaos.
Yeah, yeah.
Cause we grew up, you know, and we we grew up where we grew up at, but pretty much these women, like from what we've seen, and it ain't just for Jackson, but pretty much everywhere where Jake is, women like men that come off like pimps. And I've seen like, you know,
black
like
women.
Yeah, black women.
So-called black
Excuse
women.
me.
Yeah.
Black women, the women of our nation. They go after men that pretty much act like that. And we related to, you know, Jake. But Jake could tell you like, man, like I beat that bitch motherfucking ass. Like, but see, like in our mindset, like, you know, you want to treat her right. It shouldn't have to come to that. But that's what they like. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, hey, it's funny. There's a book called well, I think the author name was Iceberg Slim, but I forget the name of the book. But basically, the book was written by a pimp.
Yeah.
And basically, the book went into when he was a little boy. His dad was in his life, right? And his dad was like a good man, hardworking, had a beautiful spirit. And he was like, his mom used to go to a nail salon. But in a nail salon, it was a pimp in a nail salon because pimps are high maintenance. Keep in mind, just like back in the 1930s. But he was like, the pimp had like expensive jewelry on and all that. And basically he was saying he would notice how his mom, a black woman, would give like this primitive look to this pimp. Like, you know how a woman looks, like she's scaring you down, like that primitive look? So like he always knows how to pimp. And then long story short, his mom, no matter how good the dad was, one day she just left him for the pimp.
She want that goddamn pimp.
But guess what? Guess who has those same attributes of a pimp? The streets. Eve got lust for them streets, man. Those like you talking about them street niggas. They have the relics. They have the same mindset of pimps.
And ain't nothing new under the sun, bro.
And that same that's her man. All right, and it's like a pimp. What's a pimp trying to do? Get money out of her. You know.
And that's fucked up too, cause you the good guy.
Yeah.
You take care of everything right, but she'll turn around and give it to this nigga.
Yeah, because in the book, when the pimp was a little boy, he resented his mom for that. Because she just literally left and moved away from the man and left with the pimp. But it's that, you know how they say all men are dogs, and basically like to say that Jake is driven by his lower nature? No, you're driven by your lower nature.
Yeah.
Y'all the dogs.
That's some primitive fucking shit, man.
Bro, y'all the fucking, that lust y'all have for them niggas, them thuggo niggas, y'all the dogs. And that's what y'all don't go on a national platform and say. Because you go on a national platform and act like it's a shortage of good men. You know, men can't do right. You know, we have to settle. But you know, a lot of y'all, this is how a lot of y'all think. I wonder how big his thing is. He look like he could beat some shit up. See, when y'all needs come out, that's y'all psychology. Y'all scanning him up and down to determine what's the size of his thing. Can he beat my shit up? You know, that's what. But y'all don't go on a platform and say this is what we was really looking for. All right, because it's buku so-called decent men. Really, Eve is very primal, man.
That's lower nature, bro.
She's subject to. A lot of Evites are subject to their lower nature. One thing that our nation lacks is discipline. The West, because they're Western, when you're Westernized, you have no shame about not having discipline. All right?
But then, like you said, like, you know, we get on the woman, but we're more so addressing the Israelite man, because we should have discipline.
And we should know better.
We should know better.
We should know better. Like a Salat, you know, I'm not mad at Eve right now. This is an admonition. When King Solomon wrote that in Ecclesiastes 7:26, that wasn't a bashing the so-called black woman. They were saying, look, this is their nature and beware of their nature. Mm-hmm. We did, after a certain period of time, you just get mad at brothers for constantly making the same mistakes over and over and over again. Like, we've all been simple. But you got brothers, they constantly just trying to wet their whistle. Like, you ain't doing nothing but with your occupation, but building your life around wetting your whistle, man. Multiplying baby mama and, you know.
But then it's a thing now too, where you have men realizing the power that the Lord gave men, because the Lord gave us power, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and even on a physical level, you have a lot of men practicing semen retention.
Yep.
And you even got women making videos saying, like, you know, you will have a woman warning men, you know, to stay away from different women because they want your energy and they want you to pretty much just bust nuts all day and get weak, because, you know, there's power in your seed.
Well, there was sister we was watching, she was like, women are noticing that you're not giving them as much attention. And what they're doing now, if you notice, it's more popular to have BBLs, Brazilian butt lifts. Now they're getting their bodies exaggerated because they're doing everything they can to pull you back into that lustful world.
And it's not working.
It's not working. Because when you're a slave to your flesh, now you're a slave to them. See, and they want to pull you back into that. Because the last thing they want you to do is unplug from the state of being lustful and see how she really is. And you know, for a lot of those women, they're pitiful. Behind her body, it's a pitiful little girl that never came into a womanhood, man. You know? You know?
Yep, that's the truth. But there's a point too, because the elder made a point about how each brother is basically a kingdom within himself.
Yep.
You know, when the scriptures tell us that too. You know, well, Yahweh Shah said that the kingdom of heaven is within you. All right, so I'm gonna read this real quick in Proverbs, just to lay them back.
Yep.
This is one. Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. It takes discipline to not, you know, get angry.
Oh, and we talk about, when we say discipline, we automatically go to sex. But part of having discipline is ruling over your anger. Hey, we gotta work on that, man.
Work on that too, yeah.
You know, we gotta work. Hey, maybe we should, you know, hey, brother, gotta exercise, cause this kingdom it makes you pent up.
Yeah.
You know.
And the average J too, you notice it's like the average J got an aggression problem.
Yeah, they do.
You know, they feel like everything can be solved. They beat somebody's ass, like.
And that's primal.
It's yeah.
That's lower nature. That's one of the attributes of your flesh is you a wild like NBA young boy. They had a highlight of all the different times they tried to fight somebody in his concert. That's a little primal nigga. Esau loves putting you primitive niggas on the forefront, man.
Yeah, I'm a gorilla.
Yeah, savage, man. You are a beast, man. Oh, I'm sorry, but you got it.
All right, Proverbs 16:32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. Is better than the mighty. And he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city.
That's a prince. That's royal. That's the king. That's not no damn T.I. I'm a king. No. The man who didn't dominated his flesh or dominated his own impulses, that's the king. And we were never taught that this is the passage of manhood. Like when you turn 12, 13, you're really supposed to be taught to rule over those impulses.
Yep.
That's why it's really good to have a young man involved in some type of sport or like martial arts, something that'll really direct his energy to something productive. Because if not, you're just all over the place at 12, 13, man.
And then one thing about men, which the Lord making us men now, we weren't taught this in the world, but the point you bring out, men are all about building. A man is all about learning and pretty much being productive. And the Lord, when He's making us men, He's making us princes, which evolving into kings. But He's also making us gods, man. And a god doesn't really care about sex. Like it's there. Like you don't care about that shit, man.
Well, the way I know you're right is that the Most High made herbs to sexually stimulate you. So if our whole life was supposed to be a revolved around sex, why did the Most High make herbs to sexually stimulate you? So what it is I have a purpose in life.
Yeah.
I have a purpose on this earth. Now when my woman's in the mood or I'm in the mood or when it's that time, hey baby, go make some Damiana tea.
Yeah.
Let's go eat on some watermelon before we do whatever we do. Now that puts you in the mood, but you're not supposed to think all day, every day. I'm just ass. It's the Most High made teas to get you in the mood.
Yeah.
Now, granted, as a young man, you have that libido, but our life is not. That's not a real conquest. Like you said, a real man, he builds things, man.
Yeah.
That's why real men. Most architects are men. Most engineers are men. Most construction workers are men. All right, real men build, and we're building through the Spirit.
Yeah, right now.
This is building,
Yeah, the spirit of being fruitful and multiply. That's gonna happen in the kingdom, man.
Hey, and for a lot of you Israelites, especially that in Great Millstone, they lack context. They'll look into the ways of our forefathers, where our forefathers were polygamous, and they'll go and get 5, 6 wives and have babies by 5, 6 women under the context, within the context of being polygamous, and then you'll fuck around trying to get on child support, man.
By all of them.
By all of them, man.
Goddamn.
I'm glad you brought that point up. Be fruitful and multiply. Like, nigga, we in hell. We in hell, man.
Jake lack context.
Jake lack context, man.
And then the times we living in, bro. Like,
Blessings the barren. You don't got no control over them little ones, man. Any of those women can decide to take their turban off and put your ass on child support at any given time.
yeah, take your seed, get your seed and leave.
Get your seed and leave. Come on, man. You got it, brother.
But that was it on that. You want me to get something else, bro?
Well, you know what? Brothers had scriptures on the comment board. Figure I'd get some. Yahweh's truth, Proverbs 19:11. The discretion of a man deferreth his anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression. All right, that's a beautiful scripture, man.
Oh, and Eve caused you to go off too.
Yeah.
Another thing, you spoke about polygamy. A lot of these different women that Jake get, a lot of them already got men, bro. So you passing over transgression, because some of these women is easy for you to get, but you'll be in an adulterous situation. Like you go over that, like, man, fuck that, she got to do.
Hey, like with that casual shit, a bitch be in between relationships, and then she'll go on some casual date site, say she's single, you'll be having sex with her, dealing with her, but then her boyfriend will reconcile.
She free for the weekend.
She free,
Fuck her, man.
But and I hope that this is edification to you.
Yeah,
and not just us venting.
Right.
But I hope brothers are taking certain things in, because one thing that I've observed in this kingdom, the worst thing you can do, I went to this truck pass by. The worst thing you can do in this kingdom is make a move off your libido. So what I mean by that, I'm horny. Let me make a move off being horny. Let me go start looking for women off being horny, because what you gonna do You finna make a long-term decision. You finna make you're gonna create a long-term crisis over a short-term decision. All right. So the worst thing you can do is actually deal with a woman off, I'm horny, I need to get some sex, because that's why the Most High created harlots, man. And if you don't pay the shekels, then you're gonna have to pay something. The question is what it is. What is you gotta pay? But let me get this right quick. Okay, Con. Woo! Great millstone, daily edification, daily bread for you. Hey, Shalom, Apostle Yahbashma Shabakatah. All right? But Proverbs 31 and 30. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain. Oh my goodness. But a woman that feareth Yahweh shall be praised. A favor is deceitful. I looked at that word favor. I forget the Hebrew, but it goes back to the word charm. Like, you know, you had a gentleman's club, right? They use charm. They cater to your manhood, especially like with an older guy.
Yeah.
That's like, but it's deceitful because what's the ulterior motive? You want his money.
Yeah. Well, you got that. It was this one show with some damn Edomite witches. It was called Charm.
It's called charm. So look, the one of the way through the spirit of power, Yahweh Bashim Shai, because it starts with Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right. All right. It starts with Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right. It starts with Yahweh Bashim Shai.
Oh, you say daily bread.
Oh, don't think about daily edification. Right, brother.
Yeah.
Salak.
But
But Shalom, though. Let's be
Shalom
edified.
anyway.
But yeah, he's still beautiful. But what I was gonna say, the way it starts with Yahweh Shema Shai, a major power move with the house of David versus Babylon, or the king of Babylon, is that you unplug from your lust. A major power move against, cause it's a war. It's a war from the house of David and the Dukes of Edom.
Yep,
it's a
it.
war.
That's it.
And one of the war strategies was to keep our mind under a certain enchantment. And one of those enchantments is lust. And keeping our head up the ass of the woman.
Yeah, and on that same song, didn't he say, I'm no longer under your spell?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
BBT. Yeah. I'm no longer under your spell. So a major power move with the house of David is when the house of David applies self-control in Babylon. Because now you're pushing away from the king's table. You see?
Eve part of the king's meat.
Yeah, she part of the king. He said, he told Eve, go entertain those men. Go work your magic on them, man. But now something that Eve never thought would happen. Jake said, I'm good. Because Jake getting them Edomite women, so-called Asian women, so-called Hamitic women, so-called East Indian women. All right, because when you unplug from your lust, your masculine energy decides feminine energy. And those women of the other nations, they still retain their femininity. Mm-hmm. All right? The comment board won't let me get anything else. But, okay, there we go. Ecclesiasticus 34:7. For dreams have deceived many, and they have failed that put their trust in them. All right? We got that scripture out, stumbling out the beauty of a woman.
Dreams.
Yeah.
Because the average woman, man, that's some fantasy shit, man. That's what it is. It's a fantasy.
Hey, really, the foundation of how you meet a woman, that's why they call it blue pill. Because you got the red pill is saying, we see these women for who they truly are. Like they just, But that blue pill of you, that was raised off them Disney movies. That was raised off the illusion of what they call love. Like, because a man see a woman in the movie, then when he see her for the first time, the music in the background starts playing, and it's like, you know what I mean? And they build
enchantments, man.
It's an enchantment, and it's like, I believe that's in your subconscious when you're a young man. Yeah. That's why you're so tenderhearted when you're young, because we got enchanted off these movies, man.
It taught our whole life, pretty much. You finally get this good job, and you do everything you need to do in life, all to get a woman.
Yep. But in reality, especially in this city, these women are sleeping with men that don't have jobs. They're sleeping with guys that you can't even get a man that's being a man. It's not that you can't get it. That's why you're supposed to be married by your father, because Eve has negative 50 discretion about what to get in life, man. She has negative 50 judgment, good judgment, man. But I know my battery's dying, man. I'm just gonna grab this. You have any closing statements, brother?
I mean, that's it, man. Power is in discipline, man.
The power is in discipline, And the house of David applying discipline is a major power move in Babylon, man. It's a major power move.
The Lord deal with you more in that spirit too.
You
know.
know. Hey, when you can turn down Eve, you can turn down that box because of your standards. That's a major power move. You just knocked down a damn idol. A damn statue fell. Like out there in Brazil, when the Most High struck that Caesar Borgia statue. You just when you turn down Eve and be like, I'm good. Because your ego, your flesh, it feel like you didn't get a chance to conquer it. Like you still want to get the, you know what? But when you say nah, I'll pass on that. Man, that's a major power move in this setup, man.
Because we set up to pretty much destroy this image in the spirit, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's
know?
right. And Yahweh Shai, like he's knocked down that statue.
Yeah.
That stone that was graven with our hands. And we doing it in the spirit first.
Yep. That's it.
That's right, bro. Hey, bro. Yeah, you play the
That's it, bro.
And when tell you hope you brothers were edified. Once again, we want to give our honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash. Double underscore elder apostles and elder bishops, great millstone we well. Peace and blessing, health and wealth to the house of David the elect. Abba.
Abba.
Shalom.
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 Shalom.